Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Morning Gardener here, and I am online. Yeah, took me a while to get some of this lighting issues corrected. I got it. I got it a little better than it was yesterday. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, I tell you. Oh, hello, hello, hello. All right, stopped in. I like that. People come and stop right in and just post up and say hello. How you doing? Um, I had an interesting morning. Had to go out early this morning. You know how you got to go when you're working nowadays. Some of the jobs you go to, you got to take your COVID shots and tests. Excuse me, tests. And I went there, took that, and stopped at the job, talked to a few people. And thumbs up on. I said, "Take us to the host." Thank you very much. Thumbs up to the host. Um, and so what I did was, I started to hit. I mean, I got to running my mouth at the job and talking to a couple of friends and all, and uh, you know, and then I said, let me go home, and so I headed up the street, and we have problem here in Baldwin City a lot of times with the police department and the neighbors and people live here, the trust issue. But we were headed up, and it's a one way street with two lanes of traffic, and on both lanes, police were sitting in the middle of the road. And I remember it very clear because they had no sirens on, no flashes on, nothing. They were just sitting talking in the middle of the street. And so traffic pulled up behind them, and I realized I could have went around them, but I said, no, I'm not going to go around them. I said because they're not doing this right. I said this is not done right. I mean, this would be some sirens or something, or lights or something going, indicating that there's some type of emergency or something. But they were just in the middle of the street, and in order for me to go over, I would have had to go over into the bus lane. So now, once you go into the bus lane, you are absolutely dead wrong because now you're in a situation where you could get a ticket because you just went in the bus lane. And when you try to explain that why were you in the bus lane, they say, "Oh, I went around a police officer and parked in the street." I don't want to go through that. So I waited. I cut my four ways on and I sat there. I had a tank full of gas. I was just gonna sit there. Then the car next to me, they stopped and sat there. So we were all just sitting there, waiting on the police to finish up their conversation. And that's not to say that all police officers do this because they don't all do this. I've never seen, when I went by, I saw a couple of brothers in the car. And I said, oh, okay. I said, okay. They just having a conversation, probably about, whatever. And they were just sitting in the middle of the street. And I said, wow, we can't, that's not good. So I proceeded on my way, and I noticed something now. They now allow police officer cars. Let's see what we got here, right? When you go in the bus lane, you are asking to get a ticket. Yep, that's right. You're asking to get a ticket, and they saw you do it. Go in the bus lane. So I said, no, I'm going to sit here. I said, I'm going to sit right here. And if it would have took much longer, I'd have switched off the car and I'd have sat right behind him. Until he signaled me to go back the other way or go around him, I was going to sit right there. But the long story short is that I kept thinking about how people who do get a little bit of stroke in society, a little bit of juice, a little bit of power, if you will, how it can go out of bounds. Because, I mean, we're all sitting around in this world today. One thing you got to be cautious of is we're sitting around in this world today. Everybody on earth got a cell phone. All I would have had to do was pick up my phone and click them sitting there with no lights on, capturing their tags and everything. And their supervisor probably would have wanted to know, why are they sitting here in the center of the road blocking traffic? Why are you doing this? And they would have had to answer to that, because, I mean, there's cell phones everywhere. I feel good today. Because, I mean, I ate real bad yesterday, folks. I apologize. I was eating cookies and all that. And cookies, and what else? Oh, and I decided I'm going to cut back on all the junk foods. I got to cut back on them because they really, do a job on my stomach, So I cut back on that. What do you think? What do you think? I think that I have a plant that I got to take back, folks. I got to take back, and I'm gonna tell you, this plant when I bought it barely had any leaves on it. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Let me show it to you because just hold tight for a second. It'll take me a second to get it. Now, this plant barely had any. This plant barely had any leaves on it when I purchased it, and I gave it some of my secret sauce about, I guess, about 2 days ago. Look at this, and this is a pomegranate. This is the wonderful variety, and I knew better than to get it in a sense because, but here's what's getting me though. When you look at it, okay, you're selling it in Maryland. You're selling it in Maryland. This is Zone 7B. But this sucker here, the information they have here, it tells you how to plant it and when to put it in the ground. But you can see what I'm talking about. Look at all leaves at that, folks. It didn't have no leaves. I'm telling you, you can make some fertilizers, folks, at home that can do some medieval stuff to plants. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Had no leaves on it about 2 days ago. No leaves. And these just jumped out. They like my fertilizer I give them. Peace, brother. Peace. Family. Growing garden. Oh, hello. How's everybody? Everybody, chime in and say, Morning Garden Show is breaking out. Breaking out there. We'll take the force. Yes, I put that down there. May the force. Because I'm going to tell you something. The key is in the soil, folks. I kept it, keys in the soil. They won't tell you that. A lot of gardeners will not tell you that. They tell you go out there, you can buy the plants and let's see, can I get this off of here? No, I can't get this off here like this. I need a pair of scissors to cut this off. So what happened was, I'm sitting there and I'm reading over the box. I got some information one place, and it said, yeah, you can grow this in zone 7B. And I've been, researching these for a few years, but one place you go, it says only will grow down to this point, only will go to this point. And then I Googled it. No, I never did that before. I actually Googled it about this plant. I said growing wonderful pomegranate in Maryland. And it said that they didn't grow in Maryland, that they, in fact, they would never produce fruit in Maryland. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, did you just buy that plant or did you buy it at the end of the year? No, I just bought this maybe about, I want to say about 2 days ago, something like that. And I still got the receipt, so I could take it back anytime. But I don't know, I done kind of growed attached to it. Because if you go back in the store, this ain't gonna die. I mean, all they're gonna do, somebody gonna buy it, stick it out there in the cold, and it'll be dead. So I'm trying to figure out, I want to figure out where I'm at with it first. It's got no phone number on it where you can call a company and get some additional information. Let me see. Product of USA, grown from cultivated stock. Slickware sand from cuttings. I said, did it keep up where, yeah, are you from VA? Okay, let's see. Growing garden. Let's see. Didn't keep it if you were. Yeah, I just got attached to it, Any plant that takes off this quick and grows tells you it likes you. And I hate to see plants die. When you can avoid it. When you can avoid it. So this will go in a stake like this. I'll stake it up and like that, and then I'll start them growing. But it's got a woody stem. This has been given some of my secret sauce that got it growing. Let's see. Yes, keep it. Okay, yeah, you're saying yes, keep it. Yeah, I'm thinking because if I keep it in a container, I could bring it in when it's cold. but they're saying this sucker will never produce fruit, according to Google. I'm just looking at it because I want to see anywhere on it did I miss anything, any information on this box that says that this is a plant that will not produce here. Let's see, add additional soil if necessary, keep weed free, and fertilize it, fertilize if needed, water, water well. Uh-huh. The box is the actual, but they had this in in the store, and I should have went to this other Home Depot. I was thinking about it because they actually sometimes have Meyer oranges and stuff there, and I know they don't grow in this area. And I'm looking at this. Oh, wait, let's see what we got here. Contact us at da 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 da. That's really really small writing. I'm thinking I'll make it out. GardenStateBulbs.com. GardenStateBulbs.com. You know it gotta be anywhere you want it to be. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Okay, I see what you got here. Garden State Bulbs. Um, and that way I can contact them and say, hey, look, I got one of your plants. Does this thing grow in this particular zone? And they could tell me the truth or tell me something that right off the cuff. You got me going in circles. Whoa, around and around I go. 'Cause I'm strung out over you. I need you, baby. I'm strung out over you. Oh, no, 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 no way do I sing professionally. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment, but no. Professionals will blow you out the saddle. You must be a music teacher. No, not a music teacher. Well, no, I'm always trying to teach people though. People get mad with me sometimes. They get mad. They say, "Oh my God, please!" And I'm the worst person. One of the worst people you can take to karaoke with you, because I'll be sitting there listening to you from note to note. I don't know why I do that. And I go with people and people say, "Please stop doing that." And I said, "Okay, all right, all right." All right. And then a couple seconds later, I said, "Wait a minute, did you hear that note? See there what they was?" And they said, "No, stop." She said, "It's just karaoke." And I said, "Yeah, I know it's just karaoke." Had a lady one time go up there and she said, "I sound just like the record. What did you think?" And I said, "That was a good song you picked." Just being honest with her. That was a good song you picked. I love that song. Oh, you like that song? Yeah, that's a oh my goodness, yeah, that's a good song. That is a good song. But I can't sing. Yeah. One of my favorite artists is Ruben Studdard. And I'll tell you why. He got one of the smoothest baritones out there. One of them. And he won out over all those people on one of my singing shows. He won out over, and then you have Fantasia, which is a beast. Um, she has a baby on the way, by the way. Yep, she has a baby on the way. Okay. Now, wait a minute. Let's see. Somebody put a number up there. Somebody put a number up there. Lord have mercy. No, we wasn't. I wasn't gonna do it today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm definitely gonna do one tomorrow, if the Lord willing. I'm gonna do one tomorrow. I don't see anything on this box that could help me out. That would tell me if this. All right. So okay. So I got the company here, right here. Let me just Google that. Okay. I just want to find out because I know they give these things to. They sell them at Home Depot, so I just want to find out. Hey, went there. I got this serial number here, and and I want to know if this thing grows in Maryland because when you go into those stores and they have them in them zones, they should sell items that grow in those zones, not just throw it in a zone and just say, they'll figure it out later. This plant only grows well in the desert, so we're gonna put it in that area. No, don't do that. Let's see. 205 is the area code that it was. Okay, okay, thank you. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. You really want it. You gotta feel it. Good afternoon, friends. I like that. Come right in the room. Good afternoon, friends. That way everybody was spoke to. Everybody got their props. They feel good about that. And I want to thank for those thumbs up right there. The thumbs up make you feel good because it tells you it's an emotional thing. But people say, "Hey, I appreciate what you're saying," or "I agree with you," or "I disagree with you," but I appreciate the fact that you said it. Um, space. Let's see what we got here. Harvest time, fall. Position, full sun. Average size, 10 feet. Average space, 10 feet. And I know good well this thing get bigger than this because I done looked around on I've looked around on YouTube and I seen plants so big, look like bushes was wide across as a town car. Mhm. You and I were meant to be. La-di-di-di-di-di. When you call me, I'll be there. And oh, girl, mm, this is amazing. Nothing on it to say what zone it grows in. And the only way to find any information about it is to go on the to go online and look up the plant at another store, and it'll tell you information that way. I've done that. Let's see, plant in spring as soon as the ground has thawed and soil has warmed up to 50 degrees and is workable. Usually 4 to 6 weeks after the last frost. Okay. Now, but what zone do you grow in? Where are you? I looked on this side here. I looked on this side here. And I looked on this side here. I looked on this side here. So that's four corners. There's nothing there. And it tell you anything about that plant or zone. Let's see what we got here. And you could grow them in containers and bring them indoors. And I tell you something, that's going to be a bust when these plants really get big and you try to bring them in and out of the house. That's going to be a lot of fun. And let hold you tight, if only for the night. And let me keep you near and ease away your fears. Mm-hmm. I purchased a orange tree. How it came to should I cut the tree? Mm-hmm. I purchased an orange tree. However, it came tall Skinny. Should I cut the tree? Now, I think what you're talking about is, what are you talking about? So it'll reposition its branches when it starts growing out. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Because I know that if you leave, yes, okay. If you leave a tree that you purchased from a garden store, and I said this to, it was a gardener online. I'm not gonna call his name because he got his way of doing it, and I respect that. However, when the tree comes from okay, let's say it's 4 feet but very skinny. Okay, here's what you want to do with the tree. You want to take a pair of secateurs, or and clean them up real good with some alcohol. You put your foot up against if the tree planted in the ground, you put your foot up against where the tree is. And right where your knee is, the tree's up here. Let's say this is a tree. Right where your knee is, you cut it at a 45-degree angle. Clip and cut it off. And what it's going to do is it's going to send out branches again. But they're going to send them out at that point where your knee is. So all of your lateral, your scaffolding, your scaffolding limbs are going to start there. And that's what you want. You don't want the limbs all the way up here where your head is and the tree's still going up. You want to cut it on a 45-degree angle. People say, well, why do you cut it on a 45-degree angle? So that when you cut it, water runs off of it. And there's no way water can sit there and collect on it and rot it out. It'll just run off like that. But when you cut it on an angle, and it seems drastic, it does, but it works. I have 25 trees out there. All of them are done that way. Every last one of them cut off at the knee. And when you do it, you cut it off at the knee where your knee has got the joint where you'll feel the soft part of your knee from your leg bone, and you just cut it off on an angle. And you will do that tree a favor, because what's going to happen is going to send a signal back down to the tree to, hey, let's scaffold out right here. And that's what's going to happen. And you'll have a tree that will grow and keep fruit right in front of you the whole life of the tree. And that's how that works. I hope that helped you out some. Yeah, because that's what you want to do. That's exactly what you want to do when you put a tree in. I got 25 of them out there, and I'm still wanting to add more. The tree store I go to is called Stock Brothers. Beautiful. The prices are high as hell right now. I'm just saying it like it is. And anywhere you go right now, trust me, you want to get your trees on your property, your bushes on your property. If you're going to get raspberries, I got raspberries growing up the yin yang outside of my property. They're growing, and I'm happy about that, because I don't want to have to go out and buy no raspberries from the store. Don't know who's been handling them. Don't know if they're sweet. Don't know if they're contaminated with mold and stuff like that. I mean, I got tired. Folks, listen to me when I tell you this. I got sick and tired of going to the store, eating grapes, get to the bottom of the pan, and see that I've been eating mold, that the grapes in the bottom are molded. And I said, oh my God, I've been eating mold. And all the grapes up at the top, and I'm telling you how they do it. They look perfect. They look pretty. They look great. But when you go to look at them, and you're eating, when you get down to the bottom and you see the rotted, moldy grapes, you'll say, oh my God. So I started growing grapes on my own. I couldn't take that no more. Because when I go out there and look at some grapes, I go look at my grapes. I do this a couple of times, and I pick out what I want, grab them grapes off of there, chip. I got my food in the house cooking. I wash the grapes off real good, put them in a plate. I mound them up. I like a lot of grapes. And when I do that and I slide them in the refrigerator, and chill them down before I eat them. Oh my goodness. Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. And that's what I do with my grapes. And it's so good. But it's might give you and the system in your belly. Yeah, I got to tell you. I try to be careful with everything I eat, though. I do. Let me put this right here. Yeah, that looks good. Gotta hide some of that chair that's right there. And people can see. I like this lighting better. I like this lighting. The lighting I got over myself there. People don't know that I'm actually looking into a light. I'm doing like this. But you know, no, let me. It's not too bad. Let's see. And quite see. Quick question. Should I get a Bell of Georgia? Okay, a Bell of Georgia. Okay, now I want to ask you one question. Okay, you're in Virginia. Okay, I wouldn't mess with that Bella Georgia. I just wouldn't. I got a Bella Georgia. Worst tree I ever bought. The other one you got here, where you say Alberta peach, beautiful tree, but they produce blossoms real early. So if you get another peach tree, you should get one that produces. Now you got the Alberta, that's early. That's always going to produce early. Sometimes it produces so early that the frost actually hits some of the blossoms, but they produce early, and it is a beautiful looking peach. Does well, produces well. Um, a Hell Haven is another one you want to get in that particular climate. Hell Haven, and that's the one you want to get. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. I'm just saying that's a nice one right there. But try to leave that Bella Georgia out of there, because that thing sounds good, but she produces well in Georgia. I just wouldn't mess with it. I got one out there right now. And break my heart to want to go out there. And somebody had to cut that tree down because I've had it so long, but hasn't produced anything. 5 years. Have I eaten any fruit off of it? Is a question. No, not any. Not any fruit off of it. It likes a certain environment, and it never produced anything. And in fact, all my peach trees are growing strong, but the Bella Georgia is the weakest one out there. It's the weakest one. It gets the quickest disease. It gets the quickest everything. And I look at it and go, hey, this thing is leaking that brown sap out of it again. And that's what I say about it. Yeah, I would if I could dig it up where the roots wouldn't be down there. And I think I'm gonna look at some videos and find out how to dig a tree out and be able to put another one right back in its slot, because the roots are down there. And if I cut the tree down, I want to be able to get another tree in there. Now, if I leave the roots in the ground, and they will become fertilized and rot away while the other tree is developing, that's taking a chance, because if these roots are everywhere down there, it's gonna infringe on that new tree you're putting in. That's what I'm thinking. But I want to get that tree out of there. That Alberta peach, get it out of there. It's not producing. No, not Alberta. Excuse me. Bella Georgia, get it out of there. Have it done. Now, a tree that I would like to get in there, because I got Hell Haven. I would get a Red Haven, Red Hell Haven. That's just different color. And plus those are freestones I'm telling you about. They're freestones, really good. But to eat a peach, I don't know. Would you get a fruit tree from? No, I would not get a fruit tree from Lowe's or Home Depot or from Walmart, because when you read the label, it's going to say one thing on the label. Most of the trees that they started getting in some dwarfs, but you want to get a semi. You want to get a dwarf. You don't want to get no semi dwarf. I was just having a conversation with a gentleman this morning. He would ask me what kind of trees to get, because he wanted to surprise his wife. And I said, he said, I'm thinking about going to Home Depot or Lowe's to get a tree. What do you think? I said, no. I said, leave them trees in there. I said, those are semi-dwarfs. For the most part, when you flip the label over, you see semi-dwarf, leave them there, because they're going to get pretty big on you. And even though you can cut them and you can keep them small, but it's still gonna be a lot more work instead of just going ahead and buying a dwarf right off the bat. A dwarf will get anywhere from, now they say on the pack they'll get 8, 10 feet tall. They'll get a little taller than that if you got good soil. But a semi-dwarf is going to get big right off the bat. It's set up to do that. Big trunk around, and it's just going to get tall, 20 feet across, 25 feet tall. Nobody wants all that in a like a regular size backyard. You want to get a dwarf, and a place to get those kind of trees that will sell quality, that will back it with a warranty, and that will be Stock Brothers, even though the price is a little marked up. But they, like all the rest of them, they charging, what they charge. Don't ever go to that place called Fast Growing Trees. Those are the highest priced trees on earth. The highest priced trees on earth. They gotta be. They are priced up. I went on there and looked around this morning, and they had a tree on there for $100, and that don't include the shipping. I refuse to pay $100 for a tree, because here's how you want to do it. Diameter. If they sell you a tree that's this big around, they charge you for that. If they sell you a tree that's big around, they charge you a little less for that. Both of them are dwarf trees, but the best successful one to get is that, believe it or not, is that smaller one. It's that smaller one. They'll adapt to your soil. They'll catch up to that size in no time at all. They'll catch up to that size. A little secret I want you to be aware of. When you first put a tree in the ground, you just purchase it, and you do your little cut at knees height. When you do that, you all set. Clean your secateurs, clip it off 45-degree angle at the height of your knee. When you finish doing that, guess what you're going to do? You're going to cut it off, leave it there. After you put it in the ground, water it in. Do not fertilize that hole that you're putting them in. Do not put compost down in that hole. Do not put fertilizer down in that hole. Put it in the ground, and let them roots go out and look for food. Don't put it in the hole for them roots to stay in that hole like that long. They have to put it in there. Now, here's what you want to do. As soon as the tree starts to develop any leaves, as soon as it starts to bud, that's when you want to fertilize it. That's when you want to fertilize it. Don't fertilize that tree when you first put it in a hole. A lot of people give you that bad information online, tell you put a tree in a hole and stick all this food in there. Guess what? A tree is like a teenage son. If you load the refrigerator up and you got that cable got 200-300 channels on it, and you got his game system set up, guess what he's going to do? He's going to lay on that couch for years. He ain't getting off of that couch. So if you thin everything out and let it get accustomed to your soil. That's what you want to do. Let it get accustomed to your soil. Once you get accustomed to that soil, and like I said, you start seeing them buds, those green buds coming out, that's when you want to start messing around with fertilizing it. And when you start fertilizing, be gentle. Don't over fertilize that tree. Stock Brother is online. Stock Brothers is online. Yeah, it's online. Yeah, it's online. Real good place. Good information. They got a lot of bunch of stuff. Now, the one thing you want to do when you go on Stock Brothers is they got where you can clock in, put your zip code at, and everything from that point on that you shop for Stock Brothers will tell you if it grows in your area. So that's why I wanted to let you know. So that's what you want to do. It's just a good deal. It's just a good deal. Stock Brothers. I used to buy trees from other companies and got bad service. There was one company called Growing Organic for Life or something like that. And I had a problem with a product. And they said, yeah, sure, send it back. Oh, by the way, you paying to send it back. I said, wait a minute. They said, it was in the contract, sir. No, you didn't. That's what she did. So when she did that, I was hot because I never had nobody do that. She said, all you had to do, sir, was read the information. And I said, yeah, you're right. But I mean, I just didn't think anybody did that kind of deal. And then she chuckled and kind of gave me a little laugh at the end, like she didn't care. I do not care about your problem, sir. Now, are you going to pay to ship it back, or we just hang this phone call up and be done with it? And that's the attitude I got from her. So I never got that from Stark Brothers. Stark Brothers called me up. I mean, I called them up and said, hey, listen, if I have a problem with one of your trees, what can I do? Just give us a call, let us know, and we'll make it good. You're like, wow, I like that. We'll make it good. And you're going to pay, you want to get a, what you call them things? You're going to get, from Stock Brothers sell the, God, what do you call it? Bare root trees. I love the bare root trees. Oh, put them in the ground after you soak them for a few hours. Put them in the ground and, at the proper level so that you don't bury the graft, and you're in good shape. And that's how you want to do that. So I'm looking good, folks. I just purchased a Meyer lemon tree from Stock Brothers. It started to fruit, but the tiny fruit dropped. Yeah, sometimes it's going to happen. What causes that? What causes a lot of things? Different things cause fruit drop. Sometimes the tree could be too young and be producing, and or it could be a proper diet. The tree, if the tree's eating right, that could be a factor, because Meyer. But where you located? Oh, you're in New York. You're in New York. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Stock will replace your tree. No questions asked. That is absolutely right. Stock Brothers will do that. It's inside. Because I mean, look at it this way. You get a $30 tree, $25 tree from Stock Brothers. You have a problem with it. Why would I lose? And I run a nursery, right? Hard to find a customer when you run a nursery. Why would I lose a customer or have somebody get on this internet? Oh, this internet's a monster. And have somebody bad talking your product. Bad talking your product. Guess what that's going to have? All you need is one person to see it. And then that one person will tell thousands more. But say, I saw this video and it was on this company, and they said that when you call, they don't replace, or they just screw you around. And all you need to hear is that, and you go, oh, and you'll go somewhere else before you even try to figure out whether or not that's the truth or what's been going on. Now, I had a story years ago when I kept buying from this one particular company. And every time I bought trees, I was new to the game. I was new. And I kept buying. They kept dying. The trees kept dying. And they would dry when I got them. They would take up to a week and a half, 2 weeks in the mail. And they would die when I got them. And guess what happened, folks? Guess what happened? I did a video on them because I kept getting screwed over. So when the stuff came in the mail, I opened the box up. Oh, hello. How you doing, Food Farms Permaculture? I'm glad I made it. Yeah, you made it in. You made it in. But the trees, when I opened the box up, about 6 of them, you should saw them. They would dry. I ain't talking about a little dry. I'm talking about they were completely dry. You would ask yourself, how could anybody put this in a box and try to sell it? Because they were clearly dead. No question, they were dead. And when I tried everything to contact them, and they kept telling me, well, you could, I mean, we're all out of them now, but we could give you some next year. They did that to me, that next year thing, about twice. And I said, oh my God, I don't believe this. And the place is called Summerstone Nursery. So after that happened, I started doing a little bit more research. I made the video, I put it online, everybody clocked in on it, said wow. They said, I went through the same thing with them. I went through the same thing a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. And when I saw that, I said, wait a minute, I'm not the only one. And so I went online, I looked up Summerstone Nursery reviews. And the list was just on and on, folks, about people that got screwed around buying trees from them. But I mean, they got screwed around. Then one day I was sitting at work and this phone rang. Not this particular one, it was a different one, but you get the point. And when they called, it was it was a government agency, the general, what they call them, the general. I can't remember what they. Um, uh, I can't think of what they call it, but anyway, he's from that particular Louisiana, where he's from, Attorney General. And I couldn't believe I was talking to the Attorney General. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I wonder what he wants with me." Um, got back to work. Go back to work. Okay, you take care now. She got to go back to work. Catch you next time. All right, all right, all right. So what happened was the Attorney General said, "Could we use your video in a case? Because your video represents clearly what's been going on with this company for years." And I said, "Absolutely, you can use it." And that company shut down under the name Summerstone Nursery. My video helped. And on top of that, the the thing about it is you can't go online today selling stuff that's garbage. And let me tell you the other thing to get. When they did sell me trees that were viable, they I would get them and put them in the ground. I had 6 trees, apple trees. I bought, here's what I paid for. I bought Honeycrisp, Fuji, Granny Smith, right? 2 of each. Put them in the ground. 3 years later, they grew. Oh, and I saw apples appearing and all the blossoms on it and everything. I said, "This is it. Finally, 3 years I've waited. Thank you, Lord. Thank you." They were all crab apples. Every last one of them was crab apples. And I said, "What?" And because I remember seeing how they were grafted on. I remember watching. I pay attention to that kind of stuff. That's just me. I pay attention. But they were grafted. They were crab apples. Bit into them. They were sweet, but they were crab apples. And I said, "I don't believe this." Now I could have, if I, wanted to, graft the variety on that I wanted onto them. But I said, "I don't believe this. I do not believe this." I called the store up. "Hey, I got trees I had for 3 years. They produced. I'm gonna send you a picture of what they produced." Sent it to them, and they said to me, looking at them, they said, "Oh yeah, yeah. They sometimes grow like that. Yeah, yeah. They get a little. The first variety is small, and then I said, who do they think they talking to? They were this big, and they were red. And the thing about it was the trees did not produce the variety that. And they said, "We'll send you some more." But see, you're not getting this. I waited 3 years for these. You're not doing this right. Something is not right with what you're doing. And so all they did, they went out of business, changed the name, flipped it over, and came right back aboard. And the reason why I knew that was the same company is because when I went back to a page and they had all these trees on there for $10. And they had the same pictures, the same, everything was the same. And I said, yeah. I said, I don't believe this. They could have been successful, and they chose not to be. They chose to scam and sell dead trees, to sell wrong varieties of however they was doing this, it wasn't right. And somebody told me about Stock Brothers one day, and it was on one of these talk things here, chats, and a lady said, "Why don't you try Stock Brothers?" And she said, "Give them a try. High quality trees, good trees, and everything." So anyway, I tried. I said, "Hello, yeah, send me some trees, please." And they said, "Okay, what would you like?" And I said, "I want this, 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 and this." Best quality trees I've ever received. They were perfect, if there is such a thing. They were beautiful. They were stocked. They were leaves all on them. They were healthy. They were strong looking. They were thick, burly roots on them. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I like this." I put them in the ground. Now remember, when I put my fruit trees in the ground, all of my fruit trees, I do not fertilize them. I do not fertilize my trees because I want them to learn and understand the environment they're going into. Now, after they show signs of growth, then I may give them some fertilizer. Once the root growth starts, here's the deal. Um, when I put the trees in the ground, um, and I cut them off at knee height at a 45-degree angle, and I water them in because I don't step and stomp around on the trees. I just don't do that. I water them in and let the water uh, fall down around the roots and remove the air pockets. Now, once I do that, I leave them and I check on the tree, every 2 days, every 3 days, and I look at them, and the tree starts to develop these buds where there were no buds before. Trees will do that. Their whole job is to do one thing: survive and make certain that they carry on their species. And the thing about it is that once they started growing, then I fertilized to kind of speed up their growth a little bit. Add a little bit something with a little bit of nitrogen in it so that I can get some branching going out or some leaves coming out. And that's what I did. And I grew some of the prettiest, healthiest trees. I mean, really, because I give them food like uh, grass clippings. I cut up my branches when I do my pruning, and I put them down at the base. That's what I do. That's exactly what I do. I don't go out and buy fertilizers for trees because one thing I learned, I've seen people grow beautiful fruit and never mess with the tree, never even bother the tree, never do anything to the tree, but leave it alone. But now, if you're in a situation where you got some really soil that's challenging, yeah, you might want to do something. But my soil has been fed with anything and everything from like this right here. No, this is not the other thing. This is heavy too. These are eggshells. Eggshells is what they are. And look at that. Eggshells. And they don't break down that fast. So when you put them around trees, you put them in the fall, let them go through the winter and all that stuff like that and come back around before you ever think a plant's going to receive any nutrients from this. Because I see people crunching up eggshells, putting them around plants, and I mean, people doing strange stuff, baking them in the oven and all this kind of stuff, washing them off and everything. These were not washed. These were not washed. They were simply left in a carton to dry, and then they went from drying right into the blender, and the blender did the rest. Um, and they are heavy. This is about 1, 2, 3. This is six. This is six. This is 6 cartons of eggs. There's 6 cartons of small eggs. This is 6 cartons of small eggs. I got something out of them because I could either take them eggshells. I looked at it and said, wait a minute, I could throw these away. Once again, calcium comes to the rescue. Absolutely. And I saved them. I saved them because I said, no, I'm not throwing these away. I paid for this. I paid for this. Huh? I paid for this. It's like going to the fish market. When you go to the fish market, right? And the guy weighs the fish and then he cuts the heads and the guts out. And you go, wait a minute. I paid for the guts in the head. And they say, sir, do you want the guts in the head? I said, no. I just wonder why you always weigh them after, and then you cut them up. But at any rate, here's what I found to be the case. And I can tell all y'all this because, we family. I worked at a grocery store once, and it was poor people that came in there a lot. And it was old elderly ladies that were coming in on their check days, Social Security days. what they call them, the ones with the food stamps. Let's see, you got Social Security checks, and then you got the social service checks. Okay. Now I got this lady in front of me. She's like 71, 74 years old, something like that. And she coming in. She says, "I would like to give me some of these fish over there." And see, I was a guy that was told by my supervisor, "Put them on the rack, put them up there, put them up there." I said, "But these are bad. These smell funny. These are rotten. I mean, look at the eyes." I said, "Look at the gills." He said, "Ice them down real good." That's what he said. So old ladies would come in there, and I would say, "Hello, how you doing, man? What can I do for you?" Always friendly and professional with everybody, but especially the older ladies, because I mean they went through hell in their life, and they still up here, taking care of their business. So that being said, they would come in and they would go to purchase, and I would make absolutely certain that they wouldn't buy anything that was old. And she would say, "Well, what fish would you recommend?" I said, "Listen," I said, "the lake trout just came in today." I said, "The sunfish, I mean, excuse me, not sunfish. I said the butterfish just came in today." Um, he said, "What about the catfish over here?" I said, "Them catfish is older than I am, but you ain't heard it from me because I'm not one to gossip." I'm just saying, oh Lord. But anyway, um, I would give them the fresh fish that just came in. Um, and very good, gentlemen. God will bless you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And so, uh, yeah, I'll just have a little fun there. So the thing about it was the I mean, they would come in and I would point them out to the good fish. I'd cut their fish up, and I said, "Well, how many?" I said, "What are you trying to get?" She said, "Give me $8 on the lake trout." I said, "Okay." And I would cut them, clean them, wash them, and everything. And I would weigh them after the heads are off and the guts are out. Because I wanted her to, instead of buying guts, I wanted her to get an extra one or two fish in there instead of, you know, I just wanted, anyway. And that's what I would do. And I would do that so she would get extra fish. And back then it was a little different. I said, all right, man, bye, Howard. All right, I see Howard. I said, and that's what I would do. I would just definitely get rid of the guts, and then I would weigh the fish. And I never got in trouble for it. I got in trouble for one thing. There is that my supervisor told me to leave them at least certain items up there in the case, and they had these rotten shrimp in there, and a lady came in, she purchased them, tried to talk her out of them, but she said no, but baby, and so she got to the counter, and they smelled so bad that even the lady ringing them up smelled them. And she said, "Man, you sure this is good?" And she said, "Wait, let's get a supervisor over here." So supervisor came back there, and she leaned on me, not my supervisor, who's the one who said keep them in the case. I kept telling him, get them out of the case. They belong in the trash. Nope. He was watching. He was watching his bottom line. That's what he was watching, and that was sad. That's how he was. Well, I wouldn't want to buy no fish from him. That's for sure. That's how he rolled. That's how he did things. He would leave them in there. And I'll tell you, anybody on here, if you want to ever buy fish from a store, you look at his eyes. You're looking for a clear, glassy eyes. You see any red around that eye? That means that the membrane in the eyes is beginning to break down, and that's why you're getting that at a. He's beginning to break down. You lift the gill plate up. You see pink. He's been there a little while. You see blood red. He's fresher. You poke his skin. If it's got a bounce to it, he's good. If you bounce and poke it in and it stays in, that fish is breaking down. His cells are breaking down. I mean, the skin cells are breaking down, and the flesh are breaking down. So he's been there sometime up as high as 3 weeks. And they always stick their sign there, right in the ice. It says fresh fish, fresh. That don't mean anything. Greetings, Morning Gardener, and everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for stopping by. This site here, folks, you got to go visit it. Nature's Nine and Family. Nature's Nine and Family. I go look at their videos on the regular, and they got some good stuff on there. I try to check out everybody's videos. I move around, and one thing I like about videos, I like good, clear information. And people who are open-minded when they give you information, that they don't just say, hey, it's got to be grown this way, it's got to be grown that way. When I hear that word, I go, wait a minute, this person has been communicating with the okra and he knows what the okra likes. Let's just try to say this what works for me, and this have always been a plus in my corner. Let's see. The Morning Gardener, what you think about growing fruit trees in containers? Well, let me just say this to you. I believe it can be done. I believe if that's the only option you got, yeah, you could do it. Get a large enough container though, and you got to put the right soil mix in there and make sure that they're being drained. Not drained, but they have good drainage. Drainage is key when you're putting in a tree. Now, I saw one called Garden Girl. Garden Girl put hers in a large 32-gallon trash can that was 32-gallon trash can that, the kind of metal trash cans. And she did pretty good. With that tree, but I don't know if I still don't remember because it's been some time ago. Was that a dwarf or semi-dwarf? I try to go get the dwarf trees. If I have a small yard, I get the dwarf trees. And the thing about dwarf trees, don't listen to the label on them trees. Do not listen to them, folks, when they say this, because they're trying to sell this tree. And one thing they're trying to sell a tree on is the fact that it's compact. But them trees are not always compact. They're just not. The 17-gallon container. That's a good size gallon container. But those old wine barrels that are cut in half. That's the size you're looking for a tree. That's the size you're looking for. You put the best soil on earth you can find. You set the drum up properly where you got drainage. Where some people put gravel in the bottom, whatever. And they take this beautiful situation and set it up, great soil, put the tree in there, and the tree is going to produce faster because the tree is going to be somewhat stressed out because once some roots grow to the edge of those, to where they can't grow anymore, the tree starts to panic and starts to sending out fruit and blossoms because it thinks it's going to die. Most tree roots will run out like that on all sides, and when they can't do that in a container. Feeding them, keeping an eye on them when there's dry days, mulching them is important because you want to make sure that you don't have to keep watering the tree. You want to keep moisture in that container because when you water all the time, you're actually washing out your nutrients. You're washing out your fertilizer. I have 120 gallons for my cherries. I have 120 gallons for my cherry. Now, what do you have as 120 gallons? Is it water, a water tank, or what is it you have that's 120 gallons? I say thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. You grow those trees. And I like the fact that you picked peaches. Also, I would suggest, if you have room for it, that you try to get there's a pear tree at Stock Brothers called a Delicious at Stock Brothers. During hard times, you want a piece of fruit that is incredible tasting, and you also want a a tree that is meaty, so you can eat something and be full, and that is a pear. During hard times, you got things in it like apples and pears. Those you could actually eat them and go to work and work a few hours before you're hungry again. But a peach, nah, peach is just luxury. It tastes sweet. You can make sherbets out of it. You could dice it up and put it in ice cream. You can eat it like it is. You could cut it and make peach pies out of it and all kind of stuff like that. Oh my God! Don't say anything else because I'm getting hungry. You talking about peach pies and all that kind of stuff, sherbet. I got an ice cream maker downstairs, beautiful ice cream maker. I never knew they sold them like that until I bought one. All you do is just pour the ingredients in and push the button and set the timer and walk away from it. And when it's finished, ding, 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 it rings a bell and it freezes itself. Everything it does, everything all on its own, all on its own. Because I was getting ready to buy one that you got to pour the ice in and get that hard what they call that stuff, salt and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want to do all that. Uh, I got to go check something real quick, folks. And some of you will be here when I get back, and some of you will not be here. But it's going to take me probably, I think about 5 minutes, something like that. I just want to check and see if the trash collecting man picked up my trash can. If so, I got to bring it in because if I don't get it, my neighbor will bring it in for me. And so I'm trying to keep him from doing that because he's off today. So I don't want him doing any extra work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. This is the Morning Gardener. And remember, I got 7 thumbs up. I want to see those there when I get back. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Oh my goodness. I went out there. I said, how are you and the family doing in all of this snow? Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, I got to tell you folks. Uh Trash can was emptied out and I just grabbed it, put it away, and I'm all set. Yes, we are. Thank God. I gotta tell you. Uh, I got to say, I like this. I enjoy this. This is really good. I bought a pair of shoes today. Uh, and I kind of, this is the first time I bought a pair of shoes for work through the internet. And that's the, I must well, get comfortable with that because that's what's going on. And I bought them and I was like, oh man, I hope that this is a good deal. I mean, because what if you get them and they don't fit? What if the shoes don't fit you? You gotta go through all these changes and try to get people to understand. Hey, how you doing? I bought some shoes from you and they don't fit. So, what's it? Well, how do we do this? And they go, well, send them back, and you have to pay to ship them back, and so now you wind up paying more for the shoes. Um, yeah, so that's what I did. Morning Gardener, I think Morning Gardener, you sir are a great guy and partner. Easy and listen to you. Oh, thank you very much. All those years of people saying, "Oh my goodness, your stories. Can you save them? Stack them all up and save them?" But I got to tell you, I went out to the garden store, and that's one thing about living here in Maryland is that we do have a couple of garden stores around. I go there. I go there so much. Everyone in the garden department knows me, and they know that if they need any gardening information, they just come right to me and try to get some information. Because the people, a lot of them working in the stores, they don't know anything about gardening. They work there. They punch a clock. They get in there. They get out of there, and they like, I don't know. I don't know. And they get in and get out. That's it. I'm just looking at this because this is incredible. I'm trying to find the shoes. I was going to show you the shoes I got, but uh, I don't know how to do that. Let's see. I am somewhat computer illiterate. Let's see. Tell me about it. I'm in upper state New York. We got 9 feet snow and it's still snowing. Oh my God. I never seen snow that was 9 feet. We panicked one year, it was 3 feet. We panicked. We panicked. We said, oh, Lord, please. I remember that. Okay, I found it. And I just wanted to get your take on it. See, I have to buy shoes from a store online because my feet are kind of big and they are 14 wide that I normally buy. Can't find them anywhere else. I go to stores. One day I spent a lot of time walking around looking for um, you know, a shoe that would fit me. And I could not find a shoe that would fit me. And someone said to me, someone with more knowledge about buying shoes than I do, said, why don't you try online? Now, what do you think of this here? Oh, damn it, wait a minute, I'll get it. I'll get it. It flipped over. Why would it flip over? This is interesting. And let's see. We have a winner, folks. Let's see. Will that stay that way? That's the shoe right there. What do you think? And this shoe went for, I think you can see it somewhat right there. Yeah, there we go. This shoe went for wow, that's a big foot. Hey, come on now. Hey, that's a big foot. Yeah, this is a size 14 wide. And you can actually raise plants in this shoe if you just put some soil in there and some plants. Yeah, you could do that. But thank you, very nice. She said, bro, she's too kind. She's just too kind. And so what happened was I purchased this shoe. It was a good price though. It came about a what was that, like 115, I think it was 115. And with all the taxes they put on there, you paid more than that for it. So I bought that, and I like it. I said, wow. I said, I found shoes that'll fit me. I actually found shoes that will fit me. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. She said, nice shoe. Yeah. Yeah. I said to myself, let's see. And then I bought another pair. I just ordered them both at the same time. I could have ordered one pair and then and left the other one, you know, to stay in the store. But I said, no, I think I'm gonna get this one too. I think that might stay there like that. And that's the other shoe. Oh, that's my other shoe. That's a like a tannish kind of brown kind of deal. Um, I like that because you know, it's got a good sole on it. Because back in the old days, uh, you know, I used to buy shoes that were like plastic on the bottom, and I remember taking a hit of whoa, bam! I landed. I got up. I was embarrassed. My pants was busted, and I still had to go to school. I still had to go to school. I had to go to school because it happened on the school grounds, and the person that worked at the school came out there and told me, "Oh, it's not that bad." And I'd say, "What?" It was a tear in the back that long, and I said, "Man," I said, "I don't believe this." And so I tied my sweater around my waist. I mean, you know, and that didn't look good because it gives you a certain look when you tie. Well, the guy got a sweater tied around his waist. So I said, man, I don't believe this. And I learned from that point on that humans were not meant to walk on plastic soles. Yep. They were not meant to walk on plastic soles. That's why ladies walk with in there and all the time. Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. Yep, that's right. I mean, because yeah, because I mean, if I had a needle and thread that day, I'd have been so happy because I'd have went to the men's room and said, "Oh Lord, please," you know, because back then I could actually thread a needle because my eyes were better. I could do like this. Oh, I got this. Okay, there we go. And I'd have came out of the men's room, you know, and I'd have been straight, but not that day. Not that day. And back in the day, I used to get some of the ladies in the school. They would always corner me in the hallway. And they're all around me, and yeah, hey, whoa. I said, all right, okay, all right, yeah, it's good. Thank you, yeah. And the reason why they did that was because I was different. I was like, I was a kind of a comedian in class, and I was always dressed nice when I went to school, and they liked that. I was different. I did, I spoke a certain way, behaved a certain way, had much respect for all females, because it just how I was raised. And They would corner me and always ask me questions about myself. Like I said, so, well, you're not leaving out of school, are you? I said, no, I don't, I don't believe so. I mean, why would I want to leave? It's a very good institution to learn in, and but it was interesting. It was interesting time in my life. Interesting time in my life. And then came gardening. And when gardening came in, that was a piece to the puzzle because it just went in place like that. Because I remember I used to always feel a certain way when I walked in through the produce section in a store, and I would look at the produce and I would say, look at this. Huh. Wonder what they grow it with. Is it good to eat? Is it healthy to eat? And that was me at a very young age. I was asking those questions. And I remember my father always telling me back during the day that he said some of these foods were grown in hot houses. That's what he called them, hot houses, um, which, meant grown in an environment where, they could control temperature and food and all that. And so those particular, because when I see people with these they call what they call them now. What do they call them now? Greenhouses, and some of them are the size of football fields or bigger than football fields. Um, but here's the deal: when you give a fruit like an apple or a peach or a pear or any fruit for that matter, pure sunlight, you can tell the difference from that fruit as opposed to one grown in a hothouse. The difference is there. Natural soil, natural sunlight, natural ingredients, or excuse me, not ingredients, but uh, uh, natural things that are in the soil. You can't copy that. I don't care what kind of scientist you got, you can't copy that. So when you grow something in a greenhouse, yeah, okay, if you have to, if it's emergency, yeah, grow it in there. But we're eating a lot of food today that does not have the dense amount of nutrition that they had, say, for instance, back in the 50s, 40s. Your potatoes, your apples, they don't carry that anymore because they're being grown different and they're being fed different food, being grown in fields that are constantly bombarded with chemicals and now they're introducing computers into the game, which is they will ride through the fields and fertilize only plants that need fertilization, and this is done in matter of seconds. That it could scan a plant and tell if it needs nitrogen, tell if it needs water. They can do that now, and they're setting it up where the tractors can run on a grid so that computers can control the tractor and what needs to be done, and also make recommendations to what's to do over in lot B, lot A, lot C, and they know what they want to do there, and exactly down to which plant it could be, and they will grow food that will be absolutely scarce of any kind of nutrients, even though they're using computers. Because when you grow on your property and you feed that the right ingredients in the natural ingredients from the fertilizers, and you got to be careful when you say natural and this is organic. You got to be careful about that because a lot of the organic stuff that you're getting now, you got to be careful. I mean, I used to use cow manure and lots of it. And I kept calling the company and asking, well, where these cows, what are they eating? Can you send me documentation? Can you send me documentation as to what kind of medications or shots are they taking? Can you send me that? And no information was given. That's an alarm going on because they're not going to admit to anything, and definitely not going to put it in writing. And when you get those organic bags of fertilizer, you figure, I got it. Organic bag of fertilizer. They got this stamp on it that says that this is good stuff. This stamp that's on it. What depends on what standards they have it at. What stuff they allowed to go through and what stuff they actually screen for as being a problem. Because here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. When you get those bags of fertilizer, chicken, feathers, all kinds of organic ingredients in there. Guess what? A lot of us are missing, and that is, what did the chickens eat? What did the cow eat? There's some of his feces in there. What did he eat? The bone meal. What did the cow eat? The blood meal. What did the cow eat? What was he injected with? So you're putting it right back in the same bag. So I mean, it's interesting. Sorry. Not 9 feet. I meant 9 inches. Okay. Yeah. 9 inches. Yeah. Because you scared me when you said 9 feet of snow. Yeah, that was horrifying. Nice shoes. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, because I tell you, I had to get some shoes because I have all work shoes. Boots and the thing about boots is you can wear them, but you can't wear them to, when you go do business appointments and you're wearing boots. You can, but So very interesting. Yeah. But now I'm looking at a situation where I found a store and I got my shoes, and now I know where to go get shoes, and it's just a great deal. It's a great deal. Now all I have to do is find a place where I can buy some tractor tires for my lawn tractor because the air just started leaking out of the tires in back for no reason, no apparent reason. And my neighbor schooled me on what's going on. He said, no, they dry rotted and the air just came out of the sidewalls of the tire because that's what happened when you have rubber and you ride around on them long enough, they give out and the air comes out of them. I think I will do a workout today later on, get on my bike. I have a stationary bike that I like to get on, and it pumps out some some what they call it, some stress. It just lets go some stress. That's a very interesting. I say yes. They are tired of making it now. Yeah. And and I mean, really, I learned about what food tastes like when I very first started growing my garden, and I bit into a tomato. And that's all, that was it right there. I was sold. I said, I don't believe this. This is what tomatoes are supposed to taste like. This is it. This is what they taste like. I never got that. I never got that. All the years on this planet. And then I ate a peach off of one of my trees, folks. Oh, mm, mm, mm. I bit into it and I said, wow. It was sweet. It was juicy. It had the right texture to it that I like. And that was off of my Hale Haven tree. Perfect taste. Nature did that, not man. And all I fed it was grass clippings, and I fed it cuttings off of my trees You could also use wood chips too. Put them around the base of it too. And the biology from the soil came up to the area, started eating all of that wood chips and all of those grass clippings and depositing their materials in the soil so that the roots could get it. And when that took place, they were happy. I just want everybody to understand that I love good tasting food. I love it. I love it to the maximum. I love it. It just does something to me when I eat something that's right. I got two. They got a Stanley Plum. I got two of those out there. What made me buy two of them? I have no idea. Stanley Plum is the staple plum tree for backyard gardeners. Is the staple. That is right. Is it right there? Growing your own food is such a honorable and right human since at the beginning. And can I do this, sir? Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And I got to tell you, you know, the the thing about it is when you have a situation where you can eat like that, they can't touch you at the grocery stores. You will not want that stuff anymore. I'm telling you, you will not want it. You will not desire it. When you walk by it, you're going to know their pictures are going to be so pretty in the store, but you're going to know it's got no taste in it. You already know that when they picked it, it was green. Same thing goes bananas, green as hell. They got no flavor in them, and they've been grown with chemicals. You already know that, but the the sweetness, if you will, the taste of okra freshly picked that morning, and you just cut into it with a sharp knife and you fix it up and you either do a stew with it or you do a um, uh, fried okra. Incredible if that's your taste. Um, Cucumbers, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of oil and vinegar. Oh, incredible, incredible little salad. Incredible little salad. When you're talking about when you're talking about cucumbers, when you talk about squash, that's picked young, and you eat it, and it's incredible. When I had it, I couldn't keep it in the garden. Everybody was buying as much as I could possibly pick to a point where I wasn't getting any of it because they were buying it up. They were buying up the garlic. That was years ago, buying it up, and and I said to myself, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "They buying this stuff up." Um, and a lot of it I gave away because I just wanted people to try out what I did, and along with Mother Nature, what I did, and really got it together. Um, and that's all. I just wanted people to be happy and give them something to eat that could fill their belly and make them feel good. Um, so that's how I did it, folks. I mean, I just keep things going in the direction of positivity and keep moving forward. The thing about it is definitely grow as much as you can this year. Do not have this year surprise the hell out of you and you wind up forced to go to the grocery store and spend because the prices are going to be astronomical this year. They're going to be astronomical, and you've got to take control of that. I mean, because if you can say, I will not spend this for tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and things like that. I will not pay this for collard greens and kale. I will not pay this. And you do that and you stick to it. Is to prepare now. Now here in Maryland, I will start putting things in the seedlings to get them started either this week or next week. Most likely it'll be next week, but it'll be this week if I have time. And I will grow them in and get a good size on the plants. And then when they go out, bada boom, bada bang, they're ready to go. All right, good people. This is the Morning Garden Show, and I have talked your ears off today. I definitely have. As if your food is available at any price. Yes, yes, there you go. If the food is available, yep, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, right now, the seeds in the stores I pretty much, and I don't know, and Walmart might have the seeds now. I don't care about that. I'm giving away seeds right now for the contest, which I'll be giving some away tomorrow. I will be giving away seeds tomorrow. Lord willing, I'll be giving away seeds. And so I'm trying to grow as much fruit as I can and as much vegetables as I can. And that's the name of that game, as Beretta once said on an old police show back in the 70s. And that's the name of that game, because I need to make sure I have fresh food. I got corn planned out. I will start them in the house this year. I will start the collard greens, the lettuce, not lettuce, but I will start the cabbage and stuff like that indoors. All right, good people. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Morning Gardener. And remember to keep on growing. Thank you very much. Have a good day.